So it's been a weird year for movies, but there have still been quite a bit. So today I want to talk about 5 underrated movies from 2020. What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to my channel. So today we're talking 5 underrated movies. Now I did a list similar to this a few months back, except this time we're talking this year only. Brand new releases, some films that I believe have just kind of slipped under the radar. Not a lot of people are talking about them. Maybe you're 5 for 5. Maybe you've seen all of them. Going to try to focus on some different genres. That way we get a wide array of films. But I wanted to shine a light on these 5 movies because I truly believe they are worth talking about. And let's start with one that I think a lot of people have been asking me, Austin, where's your review for it? This is a film I talked about in my monthly recap video that month, but it is called The Outpost. It's a war movie that I think a lot of people need to check out if you're a fan of the genre. I had a really great time. First of all, the cast. It's random, but it's really good. Scott Eastwood, I think, giving one of the best performances of his career. Orlando Bloom, back from wherever he's been. I thought he was solid in the film, a bit of a different accent for him, but the one who stole the show was Caleb Landry Jones, always giving a good performance, especially in something like Get Out, but he dominated his screen time. It's all about a small unit of U.S. soldiers. They're battling against the overwhelming force of Taliban fighters in this attack. They're being surrounded, and it feels like this unsurvivable situation. Now, the movie has an interesting style to it that I don't know if I was all there on, but I do think that Rod Lurie did a great job with the direction, with the camera movements. The action is intense. The film itself is really entertaining. A good time for sure, and one that I believe if you're a fan of this genre, you'll really appreciate. We're talking an action-centric throwback to the 80s, very much a thriller, an entertaining time. You have the old guys going up against the new guys. It's called VFW, and I think I talked about this in a separate video, probably my recap, but oh my gosh. So a typical night for veterans at a VFW turns into a battle, and I mean a battle of survival when a gang of punks comes looking for this girl that these veterans have to protect. And when I say protect, I mean use every weapon at their disposal. Someone like Stephen Lang, someone like William Sadler. This cast is filled with stars that you'll recognize. Oh, I've not seen that guy in a while. Let's see them take on this young crew of crazy misfits that you fully expect them to just beat these old men to a pulp, but these are the most BA people, the most BA individuals. You will see all your VFW is just a nice throwback. It really harkens back to some of these films that I love, that I grew up with watching with my dad. Now, maybe a bit too violent for some. It may not really fall into that category that everyone loves. If you like this kind of throwback, extremely violent, R-rated movie, VFW, I think this is the one for you. I really appreciated it. Okay, now this one is not for everyone. This is more for like hardcore film watchers that want something different from a sci-fi movie. It's not really full of action. It is a bit slower paced, but I found it to be extremely entertaining and really surprising. It's called The Vast of Night. It's directed by Andrew Patterson. Focused on kind of the dawn of the space race here. You have 2 radio-obsessed teenagers who discover this frequency over the airwaves and then kind of follow up on it. They start to figure out maybe what it is. They hear stories, and that really takes up the majority of this film, is kind of going and getting an idea as to what these noises actually are. Our director does a great job of building up tension and suspense through dialogue only. It is really dialogue heavy, and that's why I think a lot of people won't appreciate it to that level. It's clearly low budget, but for the budget that they had, when we get to the aspects that utilize visual effects, it's really good. It's not a lengthy payoff, but it is one that I think you're going to enjoy if you kind of know what you're in for. So The Vast of Night, very much more of a dramatic, mystery-filled sci-fi than a hardcore, action-centric sci-fi, but I was fascinated by it, and it is one that resonated afterwards. Okay, so we've kind of hit on everything. We did Amazon Prime, VOD, and now we're talking Netflix, one that I did review on this channel. It's called Tiger Tail, and I'm just bringing it up because I've not really heard a lot of people talking about it. I was mesmerized by the storytelling here. Again, we keep hitting on these slower, more lengthy films, and yeah, that's kind of what it is. It's really focused on reflection. It's all about a man who lost love a long time ago, and he's been on this journey ever since, and long ago, he took this journey from Taiwan to America, and we're kind of getting these two storylines, these two timelines here as they're interconnected in an interesting way, woven together through editing, which I thought was beautiful. But it really comes down to the direction by Alan Yang, which I thought was absolutely brilliant, and the performances, Zima, Christine Ko, Lee Hong-chi, beautiful performances and a beautiful-looking movie. Some of the best shots of the year still. We're almost in October, and this is still one of the best-looking movies I've seen all year. The story didn't quite get there for me, but if you want something in that really heavily dramatic genre, but with a nice twist when it comes to the actual narrative, I think Tiger Tail is one that's worth watching on Netflix. Just kind of know what you're in for sure. And finally, in my opinion, we've been moving up in terms of quality. My favorite movie on this list, one that you will have to rent, it is Sorry We Missed You, directed by Ken Loach. Now, I've been able to check out a few of Ken Loach's movies. I thought I, Daniel Blake was easily one of the most surprising films of that year. But Sorry We Missed You is a very different kind of story. You have a man and his family who've just been fighting this uphill battle financially. They've been trying to get out of debt since the 2008 financial crash. They finally have an opportunity to get back on their feet here, and there's a chance to run this franchise as a self-employed delivery driver. So it's a man who he's willing to do anything it takes to get his family out of debt. It's a very relatable story. It's a story filled with struggle. But what he's dealing with within that family is just a lot of turmoil, especially when it comes to his son. That's when he starts to get pulled in all of these different directions, and it eventually comes to the boiling point. Now, again, you hear this, that doesn't really sound entertaining at all, Austin. What is this film? Well, it's another drama, but it's a family-centric drama that I think is extremely relatable. No, I won't tell you it has the most beautiful ending of the year, but it's a very realistic movie that is driven through dialogue. I thought Sorry We Missed You was just an awesome story about a family. It's real, it's emotional, it is extremely well filmed. Again, Ken Loach, just one of the most surprising directors over the past few years. So if you have the emotional capacity, the ability to kind of let all of this soak in, I think this is a movie for you. But those were my 5 movies. And listen, you're going to get something different with every one of them. A little bit of sci-fi here, a bit of a war drama here, a bit of a straight drama there. But I think all of them are worth it. Now, my big question to you all, A, did you like this video? If you do, be sure to drop a thumbs up button. Let me know. I'd love to do more things like it. These are always really fun. And B, what are some underrated movies for you from this year that dropped on VOD, maybe in theaters when we had movies in theaters? I need your lists, and how many of these films that I talked about did you see? Are you 5 for 5? That's a tough task. Appreciate you guys again for watching. I'll see you soon.